folks, welcome to Saving Miller. It is time to do another honest product review, or HPR. So I've actually waited for a long time to make this video, just waiting for the right time. There wasn't a good reason for the delay other than being busy, but I've thought about it many times, and so finally the day is here. We'll make this video. So I have a lot of tools, and tools are important. I love to build things. I love projects, things like that. And my usage capabilities have increased quite a bit over the past number of years, just because of my curiosity. So I got into metalworking a few years ago, and I started, doing some welding. I taught myself how to weld, at least to a very basic degree. And I had built a couple of coffee roasters, mostly out of metal because you have to, because of the heat. And I wanted to step it up a notch and build a little coffee roaster using more advanced stuff, more welding, things like that. So along the way, I decided I needed a metal bandsaw to do some of these cuts, because a grinder kind of makes a mess of it, and there's certain cuts, certain square inside cuts you really can't do very well with a grinder. So I said, I will buy myself a metal bandsaw. And I did the responsible thing, and I looked for the coupons and waited for the local Harbor Freight to send me one for the $99 Bauer bandsaw. Super exciting, right? I've never owned one of these. I know what they do. So I take it home, has this nice molded case, you open it up and you pull out your shiny new tool. And here it is. All right. Now, if you've never owned one of these are kind of an awkward tool. But you can kind of, you get the feel for it after a bit. It's got a handle up front, handle here. It's really heavy. You need two hands. Like, operating this thing with one hand is not easy. You can in limited situations. But this one, it's pretty much par for the course. It's variable speed. It's got the handle up here. It's got the blade tensioner here and all of that. So, I say, well, great. I've got some bar stock here. I make a cut. Oh, this is fantastic. Just beats the pants off of a grinder or a Sawzall. So now I want to actually work on my project about a month later. Actually, it was a couple months later. So I get it out. Get it out of the package, get all set up, and I'm cutting along here, and all of a sudden the blade, something snapped, and the blade turns, so it's twisted, like coming down through there, and I can't cut anymore. And so I pull it off, get it out of there, and the lower guide block right here, it used to be there. It's very similar to this one. This thing had snapped. And I'll show that to you. I don't know why I saved it. Actually, I do, because I was trying to find a replacement. And this is a sintered metal guide block. So it's kind of a powdered metal that's put together with heat, and it sets up, and you can do some nice shapes without the more expensive casting process. It's really cheap. So anyway, that thing broke off. I considered adhesives and some things like that. I realized that wasn't going to work. I've got the same thing up here. Who says that thing's going to hold up? And so I was pretty frustrated by this, but I said, I'll give them another chance. I'd try to find a parts number or parts department for them. I finally find it. They put me on hold for hours and hours. And finally I get to someone and they say, oh, we don't have any parts for that. They even, in the manual, which I had, they even have a parts number for the lower guide block. But they don't have the part. They don't have any parts for it. I don't think they even have a blade. So, major frustration for me. I looked it over. I looked at the piece, and I said, well, I could machine one, but why would I do that for this? And so, now, here's a cheap tool that I've used 1.5 times, and this is what I think of it. This is what it's worth. And look at that, it doesn't even break, right? Critical parts break. That's the second time I dropped it because I had to make the video twice adding to my frustration and anger with this tool. So anyway, that thing's a piece of garbage. It's gonna go. I shouldn't have waited this long to make the video or kept it on hand, but I thought maybe there's something I can do with it. It has a low-speed motor in it with a gearbox and stuff, so it actually could be useful for some kind of project. So that's actually why I kept it around, but I'm not sure that I'd ever get around to that kind of thing. It's probably easier to just buy a good motor from a parts store somewhere. So anyway, don't buy that thing. I replaced it with this DeWalt, and I chose the DeWalt simply because this thing was lying on the bottom shelf and it had no case. It was a return or something, and it was $180 or something like that. Very, very similar, you know, different handle, but very similar in terms of how it's constructed. However, you can see these guide blocks are cast. These are not the same sintered metal as the other one. And so I believe they'll hold up better. And this is probably a better tool. I've actually used this one quite a bit. And I like it. I think the Milwaukee is fine too. I have not used that one, but you know, the plumbers have it and they seem to like it. So yeah, this thing, don't do it. It's not worth the $99 at all. Even if you buy the extended warranty and you use it once and it breaks, and you're in the middle of your project and you got to go run to the store to get another one, if they'll give it to you. I don't know. You buy one of these, you're going to need a lot of support beverages for the frustration you're going to face. So that's what I think of this thing. Just don't even bother. There's other tools out there that are better, and hopefully you'll make a wiser choice than I did. So that's what I think of the Bauer portable bandsaw from Harbor Freight. Don't do it. It's a waste of time and money. So, good luck. Saving Miller out.